What is up? Welcome to the arcade showdown between Nevdi and BFrobber. Guys, let's get a prediction up. Anyone who votes Nevdi is getting banned in my chat. You know why you have to put points on Nevdi? First of all, obviously Nevdi, you know, rank 4 right now. Beefy is rank 5 on the leaderboards. Nevdi is, you know, on the actual leaderboard he shows up as 3, but Croak hasn't updated his PB. But look at Nevdi sweating right now. Look at, he's literally grinding because he wants to win this. And he just got hit and lost his reserve. So, okay, everyone just put your points on Beefy now. We all saw that, Nevdi. Look at this guy. He's sweating so hard. He's sweating so hard. And Beefy, I think he's played like 1 time in the last 2 weeks. Okay, I think he died on purpose right there. All right. So, I'm going to input the seed for you guys on my chat. You guys are going to be playing seed 2C91. All right. Now, here are the rules for today's matchup. It's shifting a little bit from yesterday, but it's mostly going to be the same. It is once again going to be a best of 3. A best of 3 between these two. The first round will be to 75, just like yesterday between Nitro and Spellin. So first to reach 75 rooms will win. That's when the counter hits 75. That is the victor for that game, and that is what the Gamba is on for right now as well. After that, the loser gets to pick a room between 50 and 100. So if Beefy says, you know what, I just want to play a quick one after this one, let's go to room 50. Then the next round will be for room 50. And then obviously the loser, if it continues on forward, will get to choose the final room count for it. So that will be how the winner of this match is determined. All right, countdown has begun. Good luck, runners. What up, Kona? Go! Here we go. A race to 75. Let's go. Both the runners are started. Look at that. All synced up on the stream too. Ooh, I like it. I like it. All right. Any crazy divergence at the beginning, or are they both just gonna go right? They're both going right. All right. That's definitely the play, because right is where all the good items are. No CWJ scams here. We got to get to 75 as fast as possible. All right. Bombs right away. You know, that's interesting. Bombs right away. We've talked about this before, but bombs plus morph opens up the chance of getting charge beam, because you can't get that room. You can't get big pink without bombs. So there could be an argument to going left on the next, if they don't make it to 75 in this round, they could maybe consider just going left as an option, because then they're delaying the bomb Terizo. You could even go through 75 rooms without seeing BT. That's absolutely possible. It's happened before. And in a race to 75, I mean, that's kind of maybe what you would want. So here we go. Both runners getting through, damageless. And Billy Mays at the start. Okay, so that's kind of been a reason why you'd actually want to go right now, because 4 missiles right off the bat is pretty darn good. Oh my god, wave beam? Okay. Now the runners are a little hard pressed to not go right at this point, because that's a very strong start. But, you know, they are getting morph and they are getting bombs at this early room 5. And both of them are going for the just checking. I think that's force of habit. It might still be worth it, but I think with 75, you might want to consider skipping it to save a little bit extra time. Both are going straight right. No divergence play yet. That makes sense. It's all pretty simple. They're not really going to be taking any damage anytime soon. And Beefy is taking a little bit of the lead on Nevdi right here. So far, everything looking quite the same. This is like a speed run race. Ooh, Nevdi getting that secret. Nice little secret grab. Okay. Any choice here? No, they're both going left. Up was an option to potentially take a right door. But so far, man, it's neck and neck. Neck and neck. Oh, Beefy choosing to do a little down back and gets that little secret on the way there. I don't think that's always guaranteed. And Spazer. This is like a speed run, guys. It's a speed run. When will the divergence happen? Okay, here's an option for divergence. Here we go. Beefy going left, Nevdi going right. Beefy getting not a very good room, Nevdi getting a great room. So if they get into the situation, they definitely want to take the Nevdi route where you go right. That's the better path. Nevdi getting 2 instant rooms basically, plus a free E-tank. Beefy struggling in this room, having to get through. All right, challenging room for Nevdi. You don't, this is the hard part. These boulders and the funes, and he might want to consider jumping the boulder. Okay, he doesn't. That's the tricky part, where sometimes if you want to save time, you jump the boulder, but it's very risky. The boulders might kill you even at this stage. And a plasma beam! A plasma beam while Beefy gets charged? Okay, Beefy gamblers, people that have bet on Beefy, you guys are in shambles right now. That being said, you know what? Nevdi has to bomb jump up this room, and he's struggling. This is actually, oh no, this is really bad. Beefy's actually flying through rooms, so I mean, in the end, he got the plasma beam, but if the plasma's not gonna help him, this is just a very slow room, right? So we're seeing Beefy just kind of take the lead at this point. He's in room 18. Is he gonna grab this extra super? Okay, he's going to grab the super here. Meanwhile, Nevdi does manage to get out. Let's see if Nevdi gets some good rooms at this point. This is a fine room, just immediately X's out the bottom right. If he had a power bomb, maybe go for the cleanser, but probably not, because you don't really need the time. All right, Nevdi is a, oh, Nevdi. Oh, Beefy in the pants room. Beefy in the pants room, room 19. Okay, the little bugs are a little slow right now, and his beam is good, so I think Beefy will get through this just fine, as a seasoned veteran. But here we go, Nevdi taking a little dip in the ocean, but he is a Phantoon first runner. He does run new route, so he's familiar with the movements there. This room for Nevdi is a little bit slow. You don't want to fall in the acid. You could absolutely get killed if you kind of get stuck and you lose your balance there. But all he has to do is roll through. Nevdi does not have to shoot these bugs if he wants to. Beefy gets speed booster and he's flying through, but both of these players are neck and neck. What, both on room 22? Beefy gets a kind of a slow room. So, oh, Nevdi has to re-jump. He doesn't have high jump boots, so he has to go back on that left ledge to get back up here. But this is neck and neck. Absolutely neck and neck. Nevdi with the better loadout a little bit, but Beefy does have a super missile. So Beefy chooses to go left door here, trying to avoid any Phantoon or Kraid, which is absolutely horrible in this kind of situation. And here we go. We have Nevdi entering a right door, Beefy going on the left, and Nevdi is in the Terminator room, and Beefy's flying through. So Beefy getting some 2 quick rooms. Let's see what Nevdi gets here. Remember, Beefy does have that charge beam. Beefy doesn't have that charge beam, so that does mean that he can get some bad rooms, a boss room, and nope, but so far looking good. He's got the speed booster. Nevdi with Gauntlet. Okay, let's see how he tackles this. First of all, this is not good for Nevdi because it's a slow room, period. But not only that, it's quite a difficult room. That being said, Nevdi does have a pretty strong beam, so he can, and the beam is wide, so any random waivers that fly at him are not going to be a problem. But this is definitely like the first challenging room I'd say that they've had to go through so far. Meanwhile, Beefy is kind of going through. Good thing he had run speed going into that room, otherwise he might have died. And let's see, Beefy has the choice between left or right door. Probably will take up or left door. We'll probably take the up door. Up doors and down doors still do have bosses. They have Croc and they have Spore Spawn. Oh my god, Beefy choosing to jump to the right with that run speed. And okay, so Nevdi can kill everything. With Plasma Beam, you can kill the Grey Gamers. And so far, this is definitely Beefy in the lead because of that gauntlet route. You can see just how slow that gauntlet is. I mean, not only do you lose a lot of time, you know, game time, you lose a lot of real time as well. So here we go, Beefy with a strong 8-room lead. And Beefy gets Phantoon. All right, we're switching the audio to Beefy because we gotta watch this. Because everyone knows right now he's actually in shambles because this is not what you want when you're Beefy. All right, let's see. Phantoon right now is hitting for 100 damage. 30 times 2 plus 40. 100 damage per hit. Beefy can take 1 hit, and the second hit will wipe him out. Okay, smart play. Beefy decided to kill the flame so he didn't take any excess hits. Now there is a chance, okay, and it didn't happen, but there was a chance that Phantoon on the first spawn can spawn in the bottom left and bottom right pockets, and you are not safe. There's definitely an RNG aspect to it in the beginning. Meanwhile, Nevdi is kind of flying through. I think did he just get charged? I don't know if anyone caught that, but here we go. Big Doppler from Beefy. Not bad, not bad. I would have maybe considered using the super there, but because this is a race, real time does make a difference. Now here we go. How is Beefy going to approach this? Ooh, doesn't get the 75% mid there, so instead gets a bad slow, and he might be in trouble. Oh! Wow! Oh, wow! Really well played. So Beefy, the angle shot to breaking the fire wasn't really that great, but he managed to break a hole in the little circle that Phantoon is going, and he jumped through and managed to survive and not take a hit. So even though this enrage happens, he got a lot of damage off on Fantoon, so he's got a good shot at surviving this fight. Meanwhile, Nevdi is kind of getting through, but Nevdi only just caught up to Beefy's timer, but still does have that plasma beam. Let's see if Beefy gets this mid open. That's a good eye open. Oh, just one more missile. Beefy needed one more missile to get through that. Nevdi does have charge. And a no damage fight from Beefy. That's actually very, very impressive. Beefy does not run Fantoon first as a category. Beefy is a KPDR runner, so typically when it goes to Fantoon, I think he does like X Factor strats. But Nevdi is the one that kind of should be the one knowing how to Doppler, but Beefy gets through damageless, and he's not a PRKD runner, so that's very, very impressive. But here we go. Another kind of bad room for Beefy from the bottom. Let's see if he gets the secret for Nitro. He gets the secret for Nitro. No top runner is able to get that secret. But Beefy showing that he is clearly on his way to becoming one of the greats because he remembered to get that one. Everyone remembered to get that secret. It's actually really good. Alright, so Beefy choosing the left door. Doesn't want to be getting crayed, so he's going to the left door. Nevdi finally picks up that speed booster. And Beefy is gonna go exit out this right side if possible. So Nevdi gets climb from the bottom right. Normally you would potentially go for the cleanser, but in this situation, in a race to 75, you just want to go out right away. But anyway, we have Nevdi in the lead right now, so we are switching over to Nevdi's audio. Ooh, Beefy with Fantoon dead also gets the activated wreck ship, so this could all be a little bit dangerous for him, especially some of the like the spiky room of death. That's definitely a spooky one. You can get basically one shot from the Kazans, but Nevdi grabbing the secret, maybe force of habit. I don't know if he has to do that. I don't know what his time is looking right now, but both these players are kind of running through, and Nevdi gets a reserve. Nevdi, the path that he chose is so much. Oh, gotta make sure you get this, freeze both of these and kill them. Gotta be careful. Watch out for the Rinkas, they're coming. Nevdi's path so far in the seed has definitely been much stronger than Beefy's. This room, however, is not that great. These wall jumps can be a little bit tricky, and yeah, he's not messing around. He doesn't want to take this extra damage. Nevdi, knowing that you know what? He doesn't really have that much of a lead. It's room 49. They're both in room 49, and Nevdi's not in a good room right now. This is a close match. They're both about to hit room 50. Nevdi's got this room probably under control at this point and has the reserve. Beefy has kind of like a scary amount of health that he's absolutely has a chance of dying in. Is Nevdi gonna get through this hit list? Oh! Okay, French fry the back, but those pirates just don't hurt that much, so he's fine. Nevdi with the deactivated wreck ship is not having a more difficult room, but Beefy in the lead now in room 54, enter coming up. Okay, some quick rooms. Okay, this room's a little bit slower for Beefy. He can't, he has to be a little bit careful because the pirates will hurt him a lot. And Nevdi, that's an E-tank room. You might normally consider getting that, but not in this race. Okay, this is not a good room for Beefy. Now, this is also not a good room for Nevdi. Let's see if Nevdi chooses to go for any deboost to get through. Yes, he's deboosting, and he's taking out the missiles. Only deboosted that one. I don't know if he's gonna. Okay, and he deboosted the last one. Now, the room that Beefy is in is normally good in arcade time attack because you get so many points to make up for the time that you lose. But in a real-time race to get to 75, this is not the room that you actually want. So Nevdi now 2 rooms ahead. Beefy going into the left room. Nevdi does no longer has that plasma, hasn't had that for a little bit. Nevdi grabbing the power bombs. I think if Nevdi realized how close this is, he might have considered just skipping them because you really might not. That could be the difference. Okay, so we have a Metroid room for Nevdi. He has to be. No, Beefy takes a hit. Beefy takes a hit, and he had no reserves, so he dies in room 58. Nevdi still has to finish out this run, but Nevdi, with the reserve at room 60, this is going to be Nevdi's race to throw, basically. And this is one of those rooms that you can throw. These fish go fast. The crabs move kind of like out of your camera. Some of them, the movement is like, can be kind of odd. Oh, gosh. Nevdi, don't take a hit from the crab right there. Or Beefy, don't take the hit. All right, so Beefy going straight to the left this time and immediately gets the Billy Mays missiles. So that actually increases the value of going left versus the right. And in the end, it's kind of the same thing except reverse. So I'd be curious to see how the seed pans out for Beefy. But as of right now, Nevdi kind of looking like he's in a good spot. But, you know, he does have a minute 40. So he can't just be like extremely slow. And if he gets like Gauntlet and a few other bad rooms, of course that could be dangerous. But he is now in room 65. Beefy is just going over and trying to finish the rest of this. Let's see if Nevdi can complete the seed. 10 more rooms with the reserve. For someone as strong as Nevdi, it'd be hard to believe that he wouldn't be able to do that. But at the same time, you could just get a Fantoon. Fantoon could be extremely bad. But instead you get Kraid, which is completely fine. So, if Beefy were to have survived in the previous round, and Nevdi got this Kraid, that might have been the determining factor if Beefy kind of went through and didn't get any more bosses in the future matches. But Nevdi has to go ahead and finish. Not getting the quick kill is completely fine. And if he doesn't get damages, that's also completely fine, provided he doesn't somehow die to Kraid. Alright, the first mouth open from Kraid is always based on RNG. Subsequent mouth opens you trigger by shooting Kraid somewhere in the belly or the head or an open spot on his giant hitbox. But here we go. Room 68 for Nevdi. And he's just got 7 more rooms to go, now 6 more rooms. Alright, all these rooms quite simple for Nevdi so far. The rooms that he probably doesn't want to see, any sort of gauntlet, any sort of quick crab room, any room that might take him by surprise. And obviously Fantoon may be one of the most dangerous rooms they can get. Without that Various suit, he's not going to get any crazy... since he doesn't have Various suit, he's not... There's some of the extremely challenging rooms are not going to be a problem. Because they won't show up. Meanwhile, Nevdi going for the clipping, showing off a little bit, doesn't actually have to do that. But decides to show off before the stream. And now we have 2 more rooms. The final room, what is it going to be? What is it going to be? And it is the Meridia save room, the tunnel to the elevator, and Nevdi is basically flexing on Beefy, coming out strong with an immediate victory in game 1. GG's to Nevdi for taking game 1 in this best of 3. I have a feeling we're gonna have to play some more best of 3s after this one because that was really, really fast. So choose the outcome. Nevdi was the winner for game 1. Beefy, how do you feel? Didn't hear my first hit on that green key hunter. Okay. Sorry, Beefy. Must be nice for the free path at Nevdi. That was, in fact, a very free seed for Nevdi. No challenges for him whatsoever, basically. Good job, Nevdi. Runners, you can reset. Nevdi getting Very at room 78. That's actually hilarious. Yo, that Kraid man was tough. Basically the same as Fantoon. First to 100. Oh! Alright. Here we go. What we have right now. Beefy, because he lost the first game, Beefy now chooses game 2, how many rooms, and Beefy decides first to 100, next, or coward. So, the gauntlet is down. The next match is going to be for 100 rooms. This is the seed, 9214. Get that in there, Beefy and Nevdi. Alright, Nevdi says he's ready. Beefy, are you ready? Beefy is ready. Alright, countdown for 10 seconds. Here we go. Good luck to the runners. Get your gammas in. Still got 3 minutes left. And the runners are off. All right, so faced with the decision in the beginning, will they go right or will they go left? It's pretty much always the correct move to go right. So here we go. They're both going right. Let's see what they start off with. Last time it was an instant bomb to Rizzo. Oh, Beefy with the instant CWJ. Did you guys see that flex? That was sick. All right, Nevdi choosing the D-boost through. That's the pro strat. And right into Spazer. So not enough damage taken by Nevdi to get a different, differing seed. Both of them entering this crab room. Now, here's the thing. Okay, Beefy speeding through. Wow, that was really, really well played by Beefy. Depending on how you like kind of wiggle. Is Beefy going on the right side? Oh, look at this tech. Look at this tech. The vast majority of us choose to go at the bottom, but Beefy getting a little slight optimization there and taking that right door, and Nevdi also taking the right door. They're gonna lead to the same spot because the right doors are all just the right doors, so it doesn't matter. So Beefy took a hit here, With 20 damage lost, I wonder if that changes the room count. Let's see. That changed the room. They're on completely different seeds now. So, oh my god, Beefy with the RNG manip. Okay, so if Beefy does the same thing, he needs to remember to take that pirate hit to get that speed booster. Speed booster plus high jump. Speed booster plus high jump. Wow. Wow. Actually big play. Nevdi in chat freaking out on how stupid that is. But it's not stupid. That's actually a skill issue. You should have taken the hit, Nevdi. That's your fault. So, meanwhile, Nevdi one step closer to getting charge beam while Beefy is just loaded up on all the movement items. So, really good seed for Nevdi right now. A really good seed for Beefy. So, here we go. Nevdi getting the high jump, but does not have the speed booster that Beefy has. And there you go. Okay, so Nevdi does pick up the speed booster, and Beefy gets the morph. Okay, so Nevdi does not currently have morph. The seed has quickly kind of evened out in a sense, but that being said, Nevdi getting grapple is actually a in a race to 75, grapple is a really, really bad item. All it does is introduce really bad rooms in terms of real-time speed, so it's just not a good situation. We have Beefy flying through all these rooms, but yeah, grapple, oftentimes the reason why grapple is good is because you'll get rooms like, Aqueduct, and Main Street suddenly becomes a little bit better with grapple equipped because those rooms suddenly give you 10k points with the grapple jump. But basically in this mode, you don't want a grapple jump, period. You don't want to waste that time. You don't need the points. You have enough time to get to 75 without excess points. So it's pretty much only bad, and it introduces the full halfy room as well as X-Ray Hall, which are two incredibly bad rooms. And by full half, I mean the Coliseum. Those are two incredibly bad rooms in a race to 75. They're only bad. So nice spark store by Nevdi, paying off immediately. Doesn't have to do any sort of short charge in the ocean room, but Beefy is just flying through. So here we go. This is one of the reasons why this could be bad. Actually, I think with high jump you can get that room, period. But Beefy flying ahead with the current seed RNG. So here we go. Let's switch that audio over to Beefy. Oh, dangerous room for Beefy. Let's see how he can tackle this. A hit means death. A hit means death. Oh, they're out of sync. They're a little bit out of sync. Oh, this is not looking good. Okay, 1 down. 2 down. Excellently played by BFrobber. All right, so Nevdi catching up a little bit because of the time it takes to kind of go through that room. And Nevdi gets charge. So Beefy does not currently have charge. Nevdi with charge plus grapple. Oh, Beefy have to be a little careful though. I don't know if the bugs would kill him at room 28, but you don't really want to be taking any excess hits. Beefy with the space jump, getting through this hellway really quickly. Nevdi is at risk at pretty much any door. Up or down doors will give him a mini boss potential. The left door or the right door can give him Dragon, and the right doors will give him Kraid and Fantoon. Meanwhile, Beefy is going to have none of that. No charge beam right now. And this is not a good room for Nevdi. He's going to have to be a little bit careful if he takes a frame of damage. Nevdi with 47 HP doesn't want to take hit by a bug right here. Meanwhile, Beefy is taking care of that one pirate because that's the pirate that tries to scam you. Oh my god, Nevdi almost took a hit from that bug. It is only room 24, but I mean, you just can't mess around here. So yeah, Nevdi going ahead and taking some time getting through that room because he doesn't have that much health. The spikes don't do that much damage in that room, but deboosting is still dangerous because he only has 149 HP right now. He only had 99 when he went through the room before he got the E-Tank. All right, so Beefy taking a commanding lead right now, an 8-room lead. Meanwhile, we have Nevdi doing a little bit of style, going through with that jump right through the room. So here we go, Beefy going to the bottom of Mount Everest, and Nevdi re-entering this charge room. Now, he already has charge, so he can just leave. If anyone's wondering how you can get Big Pink twice so early, it's because after you get charge, that room is considered a different room. Nevdi gets Varia suit. All bosses, oh god, this is not a good room. But you know, at room 29, he's only taking room 20's worth of damage. I don't think the waivers will kill him at this. Yeah, the waivers did nothing, no damage there. So no deboosting required, but Nevdi, all bosses are open. All bosses are open for Nevdi. He can get a Ridley right here. He can get a Dragon right here. The game does not really give you any mercy when it comes to having charge. As long as you have the ability to get the boss, you can get the boss. Meanwhile, we have Beefy just flying through the rooms. I don't even know if this guy still has, if he even has charge yet. Like right now, Beefy was talking about, oh, nice free seed, Nevdi, and I think he sent some cosmic rays into his Nevdi Super Nintendo and absolutely cursed him. Everyone must remember that this is a race to 100. So because this is a race to 100, it's still quite hard. Even though it's looking really good for Beefy, making it all the way, especially if you don't have a reserve, you can die to anything. It can just happen, right? And the problem is, can Nevdi really dodge something like a Ridley or Dragon for 70 rooms straight? It's really hard. So I think what's gonna have to happen is he might need to get like some E-tanks to be prepared for a Dragon battle. He might need to grab a super missile if he sees it. And Nevdi gets bowling. Nevdi gets bowling. Okay, this is so bad. First of all, he cannot get the reserve because he doesn't have a power bomb, which could be good because it's up to a room 100. I think I said 75 earlier, but this is room 100. But Nevdi has no time left in the bank, and this is costing him like 30 seconds. So Nevdi is gonna actually have to start looking into farming points, because with this amount of time, as long as you get points rooms and you choose to farm the points, you can get a lot at pre-50. You get 40 seconds for 10k rooms. Meanwhile, Beefy has to be a little bit careful because these crabs will be on like kind of a different cycle. But yeah, Nevdi's current seed and situation is not looking that good. All right, so let's see. Beefy is going to be a little extra careful here. He's going to clear out a path and then he's going to make this short charge. The problem is if you just kind of run without, oh my god, he almost got hit by that waiver. But here we go. Yeah, you can see Nevdi is going ahead and farming some of these pirates and whatnot. They are good to farm, 750 each. That's quite a lot in pre-50. So if you can do them kind of quickly, you'd want to. So let's see, is Beefy going to go for the cleanser? Okay, Beefy is going for the cleanser. Now what that means is there's still a waiver and a cack at the top that he has to take care of. Beefy right now is not scared of the cack. He's afraid of the random waiver that might come down and smack him in the face. That might kill him. Now, will that power bomb? Yes. Okay, so that power bomb does clear wherever the waiver was. That waiver killed it, as well as the cack. Meanwhile, we still have that 13 room advantage for BFrobber. And will Nevdi get that? No, Nevdi chooses not to get the E-tank. Nevdi gets a reserve. Okay, that's huge. That's huge. That does give that extra survivability to Nevdi that Beefy does not really have right now. And because this is to room 100, he might get in trouble. Like right now, if Beefy gets hit by this farm bug, that might spell the end of him. Because he does not have the Varia suit. This is a situation where the Varia defense might allow him to live. It's often a bait to grab the little big healths, because if you get the health, you kind of forget that sometimes the bugs will spawn right away. And then you'll end up dying when it inevitably hits you in the back. Meanwhile, we have Beefy running through. So still big advantage for Beefy. And Beefy finally gets the charge room. So now the big danger for Beefy right now, Kraid obviously is going to be okay. Okay, so here we go. We got Nevdi going ahead and farming some points. This is pretty important. Because it's room 50, Nevdi does not get the additional 10 seconds. He only gets the 30-second time bonus for room 50 to 99. But here we go. The danger here, now let's see, if Nevdi were to get Phantoon, obviously it's still going to be kind of a difficult fight, but if Beefy were to get Phantoon here, it's going to be a lot sketchier, because Phantoon's going to be hitting for effectively, oh god, bad room for Nevdi. I don't think he can survive it. He's dead. He's dead. Can he kill this fast enough? I don't think he can. With Spazer, that Tuskegee takes no damage. And Beefy gets Phantoon. So this is a high chance of being a double KO. High chance of a double KO. Beefy opting to go for room 100. It was looking good, but in the end, all it takes is one bad room. Wow, excellently played for Beefy. Conservative play, but he does have to fade the bottom left spawn. Phantoon can spawn bottom left and instantly is gonna hit Beefy for 160 if that happens. Does not spawn in the bottom left immediately, so really well played. Beefy doesn't want to use all his missiles here. Don't use all your missiles. Oh, this could be bad. I think he wanted to save at least one. Okay, so now, see right here, he doesn't have a missile to take care of Phantoon. Okay, so Beefy has to fade another one. Can he fade the Phantoon bottom left spawn? Yes, he does. Okay. Beefy goes ahead and spawns a few more missiles. He shoots one missile so that these missiles are spawning so that he has more missiles to Doppler with. He does not want to be hitting Fantoon when he's right above his head. This is probably a good spot, but yeah, Beefy didn't get a good angle. The reason why you don't want to shoot Fantoon right there is Fantoon will, you know, obviously do a little turnaround and smack you instantly. So here we go. Beefy is just looking for a good moment. That's a good enough moment for him. Oh, the missiles despawned. Okay, so once again, Beefy is left with no missiles. And I think we had Nevdi going on a divergence play going on the left door. Okay, so once again, because Beefy did not have a missile, he was not able to shoot Fantoon, and those are bad flame movements. One more hit and Beefy is gone. He is safe at the moment. Will he wait to farm? Because right now, Fantoon is doing 160 damage. So if Beefy were to get at least 2 more big healths, he can survive 1 more hit, and I think that's what Beefy's going for. He's waiting for a moment where he can scoop up some health. Now if he needs, whoa, that quick duck. If Beefy was standing, he would have gotten hit and it would have been the end of his run right there. So don't want to be greedy. Get the health when you can. Will Beefy choose to go right now, or will he farm to full? If he farms till full, that's a respectable decision because this is absolutely a seed he can maybe get to 100 with. A reserve would be really nice, but meanwhile we have Nevdi already at room 17 with the Spazer Beam. And Beefy is probably going to go ahead and grab 1 more big health, and he has that then he'll have that 249, and we'll go ahead and continue on, and we'll probably see Beefy farm a few, not farm the missiles, but rather shoot 1 missile, yes, so that missiles are lying on the ground, so that when Beefy goes for the Doppler, he has extra missiles to Doppler with on the final round. Alright, so slow and steady wins the race. Beefy really wants to just close out the game 2 on this run if possible. So now Beefy's looking for a good pattern. He's looking for a good pattern to hit Fantoon with. This isn't the one for him. This isn't the one for him either. Which pattern is he waiting for? I actually have no idea what pattern he's waiting for. Looks like that one. Grabs the 2 extra missiles. Alright, so it looks like Fantoon. If this is a fast... Oh! 1 more missile! 1 more missile, Beefy! Oh my god, and he gets through the fight. Beefy gets through the fight. Room 62. Fantoon is probably the most dangerous room. Meanwhile, Nevdi has to dodge the fish that's coming. He does not dodge the fish and gets destroyed by the fish. That's really unfortunate. Can you stop with the curses? Beefy, it would be unfortunate if you ran into some really bad rooms right now. For example, if you got attic, that could be kind of dangerous. But Beefy is currently in a good spot. Nevdi is going to go ahead. He's choosing the left route this time. He doesn't want to get that early BT. But in the end, well, actually it doesn't matter because both routes lead to BT Billy Mays or Billy Mays BT, but the subsequent following rooms are a little bit different. So here we go. We have Beefy. He's going to go ahead and lay that power bomb, get 3,000 extra points. That's how many points you'll get if you kill every single bug. And Nevdi getting that Spazer. I almost feel like maybe Nevdi should have taken the same path Beefy did. Because if you had done that, Beefy's route was very strong until he got that Fantoon. So if he was able to kind of remember where Beefy got the Fantoon and diverged from there, it could have potentially led to a much better route. But it looks like Nevdi's kind of got something cooking with his own left path at this point. So we'll see. One more. Okay, we got 30 more rooms for Beefy. And that is a Kraid. All right, so when you see the boss fade out like that, you can kind of tell that it's going to be, you know, the music fade out. It's when all the doors disappear, you can tell it's going to be either Kraid or Dragon. In this case, it's definitely Kraid because Dragon is not in logic until he gets the grapple beam. All right, so Beefy going in and starting off the fight with just a few charge beams. Doesn't go for any sort of quick kill. And we have Nevdi going ahead and grabbing that E-Tank. Alright, so Kraid is made into mincemeat very quickly by Beefy, and Beefy has to get 28 more rooms after this room. Alright, that is a free super you are not allowed to leave. until you get that. Provide. I think if you have one super, you actually can get out. Let's see if Beefy chooses to get this super missile or if he chooses to leave. No, Beefy is just out of here. He doesn't want to mess with that. And Beefy's got to go. You don't really have that much room in this, that much time in this room. So Beefy going ahead and he's gonna scam the cleanser here. The power bomb right there is really strong. It kills a bunch of the most important thing is it double kills the Garudas, which lets you get that cleanser pretty much for free. But with 82 HP, you're not going to see as many heated rooms for Beefy. Metroid Room 2. Metroid Room 2. No, Beefy! He gets through the hard part. He gets through the hard part and just dies to a Rinka. Oh my god, I can't believe it. The hard part of that room is you have to keep your momentum running through. If you stop on a dime, because you have two Metroids coming at you from two angles, you can't stop both of them. Because you can't stop both of them, you have to be running through, and you have to run through the bottom Metroid essentially, which is what Beefy did. Successfully froze them, and then jumbled up his controls a little bit and died to the Rinka coming at him. So unbelievable that happened. It was so good for Beefy. Beefy decided to go right this time. But oh my goodness, that's crazy. So here we go. Nevdi's suddenly in the lead. Nevdi now in the lead. Nevdi does have that plasma beam and he's got the high jump, so clearly Nevdi's cooking up something good for himself. He's got a good route for himself. Beefy once again choosing to go in this route, has this good tech. This is actually some good tech going down this right side. It's definitely faster early game. It's a little bit, it's too dangerous late game probably, unless you're very familiar with that room somehow, because there is a crab that just runs along the right side at the start of the room that is not under your control. Nevdi doesn't get the hit list because he doesn't have morph right now, so that's kind of the unfortunate part. And when you enter this room from the right side, you really want to like morph immediately to dodge the hit. But when you don't have morph, you just kind of take the hit. The way you dodge it is to have to run and jump over, but it's quite hard to do that. So, ooh, Nevdi taking another hit right there. So if Nevdi had any, I don't know how far he had the rooms memorized, but that could potentially change up the RNG. Depending on where he is. Nevdi's waiting for this crab, doesn't want to mess with it. Room 75, if you just go, you're usually going to be fine. But if you hesitate at all, it's probably best just to wait. So, all right, we have Nevdi going to the left, out of this room. And we have Beefy just retracing the steps that he had before. And Nevdi's time looking pretty solid right now. This is going to be a crazy one. This is to 100. So if anyone is wondering, this one is a race to 100. The first game was a race to 75, which Nevdi won pretty cleanly. Beefy had a little bit of a harder seed and took a death at some point, and Nevdi was able to just cleanly get to room 75 with no difficulties. But this time we're at room 100. Room 100 races are not easy. There's a lot that has to go right for you to even be able to survive room 100. One of the crazy things you might think is like, well, you know, is room 100 really that hard when, you know, we have records that are 300, 400, right? But the thing is, probably the highest propensity of death is actually going to be somewhere in that like room like 80 to 200 range. And the problem is, once you get past a certain threshold, you probably have a reserve. You almost certainly have all the equipment. You might even have a lot of E-tanks or a lot of ammo to deal with everything at that point, right? So once you get to the late game, you're in a way you're actually safer, even though things are moving really fast. As long as you're kind of experienced and you kind of know what to do in the rooms, it's actually a little bit safer. But you tend to not have those luxuries in that room like 50 to 150 range. So sometimes you get loaded up and hooked up right in the beginning and everything's looking really good. But as you saw right there, like Nevdi had the reserve and he had things to work with. In the end, you know, he still wasn't able to get through, but Beefy, even though he looked like he was like doing really well, he had to go like another 20, 30 rooms with effectively just in a situation where he was gonna die in one hit. Okay, pants room for Nevdi. Let's see how he approaches this. This is a technical room. It's one of the rooms that it's if you're new to this, you will lose immediately. He's going with the missile strat. Ledge grabs the first ledge and then kills that second one, and now you just kind of aim down and shoot the worms. Very well executed by Nevdi. You can do the same strat there with grapple. You don't have to use the missiles, but the missiles are a little bit easier, and grapple when you're falling can sometimes cut your momentum, so it's a little bit more tricky. Whoa. Beefy does not Oh my god. Beefy, what are you doing? He was so stunned. He couldn't believe it. Why did it go that way? Beefy couldn't believe it. Beefy did not have morph and could not do the grapple jump. Nevdi realizes right here he doesn't have morph. He tried to morph in the previous room to grab the super and acknowledge it, and so it's fresh on his memory. But Beefy didn't realize he didn't have morph. And I think when he bonked the snail, he was so shook, and then he just stood there and looked at it thinking that he was trying to decide what to do with the snail, but he wasn't sure which way the snail was going, because sometimes the snail goes left. But in that situation, the snail was going right, and Beefy just stood there and his toe got hit by 7,000 pounds of force and instantly killed him. So unfortunate for Beefy. Meanwhile, we have Nevdi, room 51. Room 51. Is he going to get this E-Tank? He is going to get the E-Tank. Now, Nevdi had to think about that because this room is not that slow. It's not that bad because you get points refund. But in a race to 100, obviously it's not as good. But right now, Nevdi is in a commanding lead, room 51. And what he needs to do is win. He just needs to win right now. And this E-Tank, because he has plenty of time, this E-Tank is going to help him win and get through to room 100. Because right now, as of right now, if both players can continue onwards and not die, if Nevdi goes particularly slow, he will still win because he's got this 40 room advantage basically. So here we go. Nevdi still, you know, does not have a reserve. And as we get higher and higher, obviously things are going to be one-shotting him. So right here, that crab, oh my god, that's one of the reasons why you cannot always stop on a dime when you go left. Because if you stop on a dime entering the room and you get Metroid room 2 that Beefy died to, the Metroids will kill you instantly. You stop on a dime in that room, picking up your momentum when the crab is coming at you at light speed, good luck with that one. You're gonna have to figure out a way to instantly pull out your supers or instantly pull out grapple, item selecting 4 times to get to it. That's too hard. You might just instantly take a death or blow a reserve if that's what you have. Beefy doing Beefy Spark in Plasma Room. That is the Beefy Arcade Spark. He is the originator of that strategy. Very good strategy. But here we go. I mean, this is a very plasma friendly scene. It looks like both these players just getting plasma left and right. You know, I wonder if Nevdi considered sparking there. I wonder if you could make it through the gate with that stored shine spark. Either way, Nevdi, room 61. This is kind of the situation Beefy was in. Nevdi does not have Varia, which is normally a good thing, but when you kind of start getting into the later levels, not having Varia, even though, you know, overall it's going to give you some easier rooms, Varia does make some rooms much safer because you can tank a hit. Like right now, if Nevdi gets hit by like a farm bug, I don't know how much damage it might do. It might actually clean him out. It's only room 60, you know, compared to the rooms that are like 100, 200, but like a farm bug at this point is definitely going to hurt. So I suspect at this point Varia would keep him alive from something like that, and it's kind of questionable if it would keep him alive without a suit. Meanwhile, we have Nevdi. The music changed. I actually thought he got Dragon, and that was actually gonna be so unfortunate. Nevdi does have charge, and he does have grapple. So he's not allowed to get Ridley. It's not in logic because it's a heated room. He would just instantly die, basically, right? So that's not in logic. But Dragon is in logic, and obviously the rest of them are in logic too. Oh, Nevdi made a decision there and decided to go right. I wonder what the choices there, or like why. Ooh, look at this. Nevdi choosing to go for PRKD strats. That was unnecessarily risky. I don't think he should have done that. That is how you do it in PRKD, and I think he just trusted his muscle memory. But I think when he did that, I think after he killed the boulder, he kind of like was like, oh my god, that was actually scarier than it had to be. All right, let's see if Nevdi knows how to handle these fireflies. Yeah, these fireflies can somehow kind of take weird paths and dodge you and just kind of like uppercut you in the mouth basically. But here we go. Nevdi, yes, okay, he is choosing to grab that missile pack. I think basically if he gets into a situation where he gets Fantoon, the missile pack might make a difference. So Nevdi does spend a little bit of time. In an actual PB paced run, I don't know if Nevdi actually would have done that. I think he would have just went and been like, so long, so much for that. I'm not wasting my time, but in this situation, he's desperate to complete the run. He is desperate to complete the next 29 rooms to take game 2 and clean out Beefy for the instant 2-0 victory. Here we go. We have a pretty bad room for Beefy. Room 28, though, he can survive. Honestly, the Fire Fleas, you might want to just consider deboosting here. Yeah, okay, so there you go. The Fire Fleas at room 20 will not hurt you that much because they have very low base damage. Very smart play by Beefy. The spikes actually do 60, so that's the better play right there. So here you go. You're seeing lots of small optimizations between these really strong runners, kind of like knowing like what room they're on. And oh my god, we got Varia at room 77, room 76 for Nevdi. Game is on. He's not safe anywhere. He's got Kenny. I don't think he can fade a boss for 23 rooms. No way he fades a boss for 23 rooms. And there you go. He gets a boss right there. Now, this is the thing. This boss is fine. Nevdi is not at risk. If he messes up and misses up the damage list, that's fine too, because he doesn't need the points at this point. He's got enough time in the bank to get to room 100 without it really being at a risk. So of the bosses, this is a waste of time, effectively. But even though it's a waste of time, he's got a huge room advantage on Beefy, so he can waste some time here. And it's not like Beefy's not going to hit a boss. There's a good chance Beefy just ends up getting a boss too. So Nevdi's, if there's a boss to get, it's this one. Spore Spawn is not that bad. Croc takes a really long time in real time, so Croc is particularly bad. But Spore Spawn, I mean, Nevdi would like to have Wave here so that he can just take Spore Spawn out in 2 hits. But that's fine. He's gonna get through. Meanwhile, we have Beefy getting Wave Beam, so he's got that full KPDR beam right now. But the thing is, Beefy's situation. Oh, Nevdi's really struggling here. All right, so one more missile for Spore Spawn to take care of it. Beefy's health and situation is quite dire. He's on room 40, so at this point, like almost everything is pretty much one-shotting him. So even though it's like looking good and Beefy absolutely could get through 100, he kind of needs some safeties. I think Beefy would really like a reserve. If he finds a reserve room, I'm sure he would take his time to get it to ensure victory. Or to ensure safety. Oh, right into Fantoon. All right, this is actually another one. This is another room. This is one of the reasons why Varia makes Fantoon much better, because you're taking half the damage. So normally Fantoon in this stage would actually hit Nevdi for 180 damage, but with Varia, he's only being hit for 90. 90 means he takes 3 hits and then the 4th hit will kill him. So he is completely fine right now. But this is a slow pattern. Oh, okay. Oh, smart play by Nevdi. Instead of going for the shot, risking the shot, opts to go for the the charge, and then immediately making Fantoon go away. Oh, excellent. Look at that dodge by Nevdi. Look at that dodge by Nevdi. Jumping over the flame to avoid a hit. Getting a nice big Doppler on there. I would have considered maybe just going ahead and dropping the super. I think Nevdi should have considered dropping the super there, because now the pressure is on. Oh my god, almost took a hit right there. He's gonna do it again. Oh, the fast eye close. Oh, Nevdi has to get in the corner. Oh my god, okay. And this is why Nevdi... Oh, just one missile away from killing him. That's okay, but Nevdi has to go through another round of Fantoon RNG. I think what Nevdi needs to do right now is he needs to turn all of his beams on. He needs to turn all of his beams on, because if he's gonna go with the pseudo strat, the regular charge shot won't kill Fantoon. But if he turns the beams on, pseudos, and hits him with the ice and the spazer shot, that will be enough. That will be enough. But he just gets the mid, and it's completely fine. Nevdi gets through that fight without taking damage. Really, really well played by Nevdi, showing why he has the PB that he has, and he is ranked number 4 on the leaderboards. Meanwhile, we have Beefy steadily rising. He's got 51 rooms, still in a situation where anything is gonna basically kill him. Oh my god, that B-Tom did 60 damage. B-Tom did 60 damage. I think any of the farm bugs in this room right now for Beefy will get him killed. So he's gotta be extra careful. Even the spikes on the ground are gonna hurt. Okay, and he's just out of there. Nevdi gets Ridley! Nevdi gets Ridley! He doesn't even have wave. He doesn't have wave. He doesn't have wave, and he doesn't have a reserve. If he can clutch this out, this would be the most clutch, like, ever. This would be the most clutch situation ever because, oh my god, the low pogo, he almost got hit right there. Ridley choosing to do a low pogo right there, pixels away from dying. Oh, the back pogo? Excellent. Really, really, really good play. Nevdi, like, not hesitating and was able to acknowledge the back pogo, waited for Ridley to get through. We got another pogo pattern here. Oh, and immediately going under this time. Without wave, Beefy gets the reserve. That's exactly what he was looking for. This is a bad pattern for Nevdi. Nevdi has to watch out for the tail whip. A tail whip or a body hit will spell disaster. If he gets hit by a flame, he may survive. Oh my god, the low pogo. Gets through the low pogo again. The fight is not even close to over. Right into a pogo. Okay, there we go. High pogo, so very safe in this situation. Now keep in mind, Ridley gets more and more dangerous as the fight goes on. The final part of the game, Ridley has a tendency to just like to pogo into the ground and force air fireballs. Right now, you're not seeing that as much. So he's probably got this under control. Meanwhile, Beef is already at room 64 with the reserve. That's how long these bosses take. Okay. Here's the tricky thing. If Nevdi breaks spin to manipulate Ridley to turn around on the pogo, but Ridley is not pogoing. Oh my god, that's okay. Nevdi knows how to do this fight in arcade. If Nevdi breaks spin on the pogo above to manipulate Ridley, but it's while Ridley is pogoing downwards, then he will not get the turnaround on Ridley. Ridley might go into the ground here. Ridley went into the ground, but it was only for a split second, so the fireball is fine. Nevdi has no more supers, no other regular missiles to work with. And this is the first. Oh my god, iframe with the thing. Okay. The iframe saved him from the body shot. The fireballs don't do as much damage. We're going into swoop phase. It's a pogo now. No, Nevdi! No, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh my god. Nevdi was in the acid. He understood that he had time. He didn't panic. He had the time. He knew that he had the time to just wait there and wait for an opportune moment to stand up. Because if he jumped immediately, he would have gotten hit by Ridley. So he waited. He had the class and he had the patience to wait for it. It was a very skillful wait. Unfortunately, jumping out of the acid with no suit, it's problematic. There's just issues that arise, and he got flung up there, got hit by the body, and that ended his run. He was so close to doing it. Very well played, but in the end, it's really hard to finish out that Ridley fight. It's just so hard. Something always goes wrong. But very well played by Nevdi. Meanwhile, we have Beefy. Silently, while everyone was busy watching that, Beefy's at room 72 with a reserve. He had bowling earlier. So, I mean, he could have gotten on a quest if he felt like it. Wait, room 72? Room 72 and he just got charged. That's why he's at room 72, because he was under no threat from any bosses or anything like that. All right, that being said, 28 more rooms and Dragon is on the table. This room is fine with the power bomb. You want to make sure you bounce on this ledge because see how Beefy chooses to land on the little bounce on the little ledge before falling down? That's because if you lay the power bomb and you fall down and the camera scrolls down, you won't actually end up killing the big hoppers. So it's very important that when you do that room, you let the power bomb double hit them before you scroll the camera down and grab those extra power bombs. You don't want to hurry it up or the hoppers won't die. So that's one of the small nuances that you got to remember in that room. Meanwhile, we have Nevdi continuing on forward to the path that he took previously. Is Beefy going to go for... No. Okay, so if Beefy went for the grapple jump, he only has a minute 40. And 24 rooms is a decent amount to go through. So he could have considered grapple jumping to save time, because if Beefy were to get like another bowling and he got some gauntlet rooms, he actually might get into time trouble. But here we go, room 78. Beefy is storing the spark. He tried to use it right there. He tried to use it right there. And there's a few hidden boulders. The strat is to just run straight across, excuse me. Oh, I thought that was gonna be a boss, but it's just a Metroid room. All right, here we go. This last one, you just run through. Watch the Rinkas! Dude, name a better duo, Beefy and Rinkas. Name a better duo. I bet you can't, because that Rinka was gonna give Beefy another hug right there. All right, make sure to kill that mini crate. All right, room 83 for Beefy. Fantoon is not dead, so the wreck ship is safe. That room is otherwise very dangerous. It's known as the spiky room of death. There is a crab coming. Watch out, Beefy. There is a crab coming from the bottom right. Beefy almost got caught mid-jump, where he's in an awkward situation where he would not have been able to dodge his thought. So he panic shot that. I know he panic shot that. That was not completely under his control, but was able to take care of that crab on the way up. That's the crab in the bottom left that spawns in the bottom left. But at room 80, he's moving fast and he's climbing up that right wall to get to you from that side of the room. All right, here we go. Beefy with only 1 minute and 5 seconds, and he has to get through Gauntlet, and he misses this cycle. Ideally, you don't have to wait on this cycle. You go on the first one. So Beefy's got 3 power bombs. This is the problem. This is the interesting thing. Like, you don't want to really waste your time getting secrets when you're trying to race to a certain room count, because it's a matter of real time. But at the same time, this is how you clearly know that when we choose to get all these secrets, now you know how much time we're actually adding up in the game. Because Beefy is actually kind of getting into some time trouble. If he gets like another bowling, then he has to seriously think, oh my god, I might have to risk it to just push and just run through. But he still has 1 minute, and it's fine. Beefy's being a little extra careful. What you can do in that situation with charge is actually hold a charge shot, and you could pseudo screw down, and you will go through the lasers. But Beefy choosing not to do that, and instead just kind of baits the lasers out from that pirate. And he is just unloading supers right now into the pirates. Another free room. 8 more rooms for Beefy to take game 2. Crab room! Crab room! Watch out, Beefy! Watch out! Get out of there, Beefy! Oh my god, I can't believe he didn't get hit by that crab. I cannot believe he didn't get hit by that crab. That was unbelievable. He jumped over one of the crabs. That looked like the crab literally looked like it tapped Samus on the butt. That's literally what it looked like. 4 more rooms for Beefy. That was a music change. I thought it was over. Beefy probably wants to grab these power bombs in case he gets into a really sketchy room. But here we go. Stores the spark. 3 more rooms for Beefy. It's another crab room. It's another crab room. Gotta be careful. You gotta be really careful here. There are some global crabs here. They're coming for Beefy right now. Only 2 shots. He only has to shoot them twice to freeze them. As long as he gets 2 hits and the wave doesn't scam him, he's fine. I think he took care of all the global crabs. Now there's just 2 crabs stacked together at the end. As you can see, it looks like it's at 600. It's because he got 2 kills at once. They're just stacking on top of each other. Wants to make sure he kills some of these waivers and then gets a quick short charge. If you wait too long, you get in a little bit of trouble because there is a waiver coming. Let's see if he gets hit by this last waiver. Nope, he doesn't. 1 more room for Beefy. It's very soon, but it doesn't matter. Beefy gets to room 100 before Nevdi takes game 2. And he got Mother Brain. Doesn't have to do the Mother Brain because he got to room 100. Nevdi, you want to do another 1 to 100? Are we doing another 1 to 100? Is that what this is? The seed is 5DFE. Runners, are you ready? Beefy, are you ready? Air day. All right, here we go. Countdown 10. Round 3 fight. It's 1-1 between Beefy and Nevdi. Nevdi taking the room first to 75. Beefy taking the first to 10, first to 100. And here we go. Game 3, Nevdi choosing to run it back for the first to 100. So here we go. First to 100. Which way are they going? Nevdi clearly had to hang up his work call right there because he paused on the ship for a second. And get your gammas in right now. All right, both players entering this little farm room, not taking any damage. I think you would need to take at least like 20 damage for it to change it up. Ice Beam at the start. Okay, Ice Beam is a little jank. It kind of makes you lose a little bit of points because you have to double shot kill stuff that you might not normally. But that being said, if you get certain rooms, like the Thread the Needle room, it's the Meridia room with the cleanser, with all the pancakes and the worms. Ice Beam actually makes a huge difference there because the hitbox is a little bit bigger and you can't normally hit the pancakes on the ground while crouching. So here we go, we got the crab room. Will they go left or will they go right? Beefy is choosing to go right here. Nevdi jumping over the Key Hunter to make up a little bit of lost time. Both of them running through. It's the Fire Flea room. Nevdi taking that slight lead on this run. This is like a normal speed run. Will they grab the secret? Nevdi not grabbing the 750 secret. Beefy is just going. Or Nevdi is just going. Beefy grabs it. And here we go. We have the Red Brinstar room. Will they go to the left or will they go right? Oh, no. This is the Meridia room. So both of these players will probably be going right. If you weave down the right side before room 10, you're safe. And Nevdi not choosing to beat the crab. Beefy also not choosing to do that well. It's a risky play. Missile room, this is all going to be the same so far. No little crab room. So this is everything up to room 12 is going to be basically exactly the same. So far, this seed has not been the greatest. It hasn't been bad, but okay, so Nevdi took a hit, so we're gonna probably see some divergence at this point if Beefy doesn't also take a hit. So Nevdi takes a hit, gets Morph. Beefy does not take the hit, and let's see what he gets. And Beefy gets Everest. From the top right, it's not that bad. You fall very quickly into this bottom room. So another bottom room, you're not gonna be seeing any Morph anytime soon. Beefy is choosing not to take a hit, going hitless and going to the right. Nevdi gets his first pack of missiles, and this is looking really good for Beefy right now. Like dodging this morph, dodging the morph means you're dodging morph and bombs means obviously you're dodging charge, and if you're dodging charge, you're dodging bosses. So far, BFrobber is doing a good job delaying everything with this current RNG. Doesn't want to get hit by this crab. Is he going to wait and go through the bottom? Beefy's looking like he wants to go to the right because he opened that right door. So Beefy's going through the right door. I think you want to consider going through the bottom door because, okay, well, Beefy gets speed booster now. If you go through the bottom door, you don't have that chance of getting Morph. So you can further delay. You also won't get bombs. Beefy has to be a little careful here. Might have to wiggle out. He's gonna be in, okay, he's just leaving. He doesn't have Morph, so if he gets stuck there, he has to wiggle out or wait for them to unfreeze. So this room, oh, Beefy does have speed booster, so here we go. Will he has to do a good stutter 3-tap, and he makes it through. So lots of points for Beefy so far. And gets the high jump and speed. And Nevdi? What? Did Nevdi just die to BT? Huh? Wait, huh? What just happened? How do you die to BT, Nevdi? How do you die to BT? I've seen people that have like never played Super Metroid, they don't die to BT. What's going on? Nevdi actually throwing for content. This guy beat me to 75? Beefy finding time to trash talk during door transitions. But all right, here we go. I mean, did Nevdi choose to diverge at this point? Did he go left? Did he go right? I'm not actually sure. But here we go. Beefy so far getting, these are rooms that you really want in like a time attack race because you get a lot of points, but this is nice. Getting those power bombs and getting some free points right here, that's kind of what Beefy wants. Now, that being said, we're kind of in another situation where Beefy doesn't have any E-tanks, it looks like. And as you progress into the seed, when things start hitting harder, even at these early stages, if you have like no E-tanks, you're kind of at risk of dying. So hopefully Beefy can find... Everything's looking up for Beefy right now. So this is the reserve room. It's exactly what he wanted. This is kind of looking like Beefy's game to lose. Now, that being said, there's so much left to play, but I don't think Beefy... Beefy doesn't have charge yet, right? Beefy doesn't have bombs. Beefy has not seen BT. I mean, we'll see if Bomb Chorizo takes Beefy out. Apparently, Bomb Chorizo's on steroids today, so I mean, if Beefy can get through Bomb to Rizzo, then I think it's over for Nevdi, to be completely honest. The only thing that will redeem Nevdi at this point is a death from Bomb to Rizzo from Beefy. But so far, we're 32 rooms in, and Beefy doesn't even have bombs. That's so good for him. No bombs, no charge, no boss. Here we go. Beefy needs one super to get through this gate, but he already has it. You can get this room even if you don't have the extra super. And Beefy is going to grab this secret and going to go ahead and keep moving on. He only has 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, oh, Beefy's got to be careful. That was not the reserve he wanted to lose. That was not that good. Beefy's probably going to be fine because his health is quite low. Because his health is low, it's easy to refill and top off that reserve. But that was not what he wanted to do right there. I think Beefy was trying to hold down, but instead held down and left and did not shoot the missile directly down into the pancake. So a little bit of a mistake from Beefy. But I think Beefy has 0 E-Tanks, so another big health should do it. And Bomb to Rizzo, well, here we go. Beefy doing a little bit of dance, a little dance to signify, yes, I am at Bomb to Rizzo. This is where Nevdi died. Throwing a little bit of celebratory arms right there to show off a little bit. A little dance right there. Here we go. 2 missiles, 1 super. Bomb to Rizzo is down. That is the quickest way to kill BT. And here we go. Probably get a refill on the reserve, full resources, and Beefy is in a good spot. Nevdi is going to short charge up here. But here we go. So Beefy, I was gonna say, is gonna try to avoid Big Pink if possible. It's kind of hard because there's so many doors that enter in here anyway. But he gets the charge beam. That means that Beefy is going to want to favor the left doors. Favoring the left doors because right now the 2 bosses in logic for him are going to be Fantoon and Kraid. Both are inaccessible from a left door. But also, if you go in the up and down doors, you have a chance of getting Croc or Kraid, or Spore Spawn. So, ooh, Beefy taking a hit from that bug, but it's only room 40, so it only hit him for about 50 right now. Will Beefy choose to get some missiles right here? No, Beefy's not getting the missiles. That's... okay, I don't know what just happened to Nevdi. Nevdi took another death. That's unfortunate. Someone tell me what he died to. I didn't see it. But people are giving him the salute. Sorry, Nevdi. Nevdi is, I think, in complete shambles right now. Died to the noodles. Okay, same thing that happens. Oh, the pre-plasma room. The pre-plasma room. Okay, Beefy's got to be a little bit careful. That crab, when it goes up there, can be a little bit annoying. But here we go. As much as I'm kind of making fun of Beefy and Nevdi, it's very important to note that getting to room 100 is a monumental task. It is not that easy. If you look at the leaderboards, if you watch, you watch like Me Notes or something like that, and that's kind of how you've found Super Metroid Arcade, then it might seem trivial. It's not trivial to get to room 100. Just take one look at the leaderboards and see how many people have done it. There's not that many, right? So to even get to this point it's a monumental task. Nevdi decided to Goomba stomp that frozen key hunter there, but here we go. Beefy getting Oates' favorite room, the Batuin E-Tank hallway. This one is a notorious room. It's just slow. There is a way to cheese the room if you can start a short charge into it and you run across. That is how you kind of do it in the vanilla game anyway, but early game, I mean, the room is bad, but you do get an E-Tank out of it, and the secret there does give you 3,000 points. But yeah, you do have to kind of dodge these Puyos. One of the things that's annoying about these Puyos is what you want to do is, as you see Beefy right now, he's running across straight away. That's the fastest way to traverse the water. But because those Puyos kind of like hop and jump and dodge your shots, you kind of instead have to be jump shooting, and that way you're not building up momentum. There is a way to like run through and just pray that your shots hit, but it's a little bit risky because if your shots don't connect, then you get hit and you will die. So here we go. There we go. Beefy got uppercut in the chin by that Firefly. That one goes clockwise and tries to get you. And another reserve for Beefy. Will he get the missiles? Okay, so Beefy chooses to get these missiles. I think there's an okay. Oh, okay. So Beefy is not wasting time. I think he understood that he actually got into a little bit of time trouble, so he's kind of not going out of his way for extra missiles. Another reserve. Beefy did get this reserve, so That was crazy. I don't know how he fell down there. That was whack. But yeah, Beefy choosing not to get the break free either. That's completely viable as well. But yeah, that reserve is no longer there because it was the first one that Beefy got. All right, we got baby skip. This is not dangerous because ultimately if Beefy doesn't get the skip, he will still have his reserve because the baby doesn't take your reserve away. But here we go. Is he going to go for the Stachio skip? Yes, he is. So here we go. This is new technology in the most recent times. Oh, okay, he's going to get hit by the baby. What you're supposed to do is charge long enough where the bomb flies into the air. But clearly he ran out of gas or something because those bombs did not move at all. Anyway, Beefy's fine. He still has a reserve. He's going to want to get some health back probably just in case a random spike hit gets him. But yeah, here we go. Also, he's going to want to get some extra health because we don't want to hear that incessant beeping. Nobody wants to hear that, right? Oh, watch out. The Funes are here. He's going to lay this power bomb to get 3,000 quick points. Each of those Funes are worth 1k each. And here we go. Beefy at room 58. Nevdi is going ahead and getting through the slow Meridian room. And a left door for Beefy. No risk of Kraid and no risk of Fantoon. Kraid is this probably a boss that Beefy wouldn't mind seeing too much because he does. Watch out for the menus! Watch out for the menus! He's coming back. Is he gonna go? He's just gonna move and spam the missiles. Okay, good play, good play. When you get into that room, no, Beefy with the bad jump! No, Beefy with the bad jump. This is why it's so hard to get to room 100 because it doesn't matter who you are. This happens to everybody. Just something happens. You mistime a jump. You land on an ouch. They're literally called ouches. O-W-T-C-H. You can ask Funtoon. They're actually called ouches. And that Beefy just took an ouchie to the foot. So there we go. Nevdi's in the lead now. Room 29. Here we go. The game is still on. The game is still on. You think Nevdi's gonna get to room 100? I mean, it's hard to get to room 200. You think Nevdi's gonna get to room 100? It's not easy to get to room 100. The odds of him getting there, who knows? But it's not that likely. It's just so hard to get there in the first place. But anyway, we have Beefy starting up, and here we go. Let's see how far. Nevdi has spent so much time in this early game that maybe he has everything memorized up to room 30. He's seen every variation of death at this point. All right, so Nevdi going down. That is not the room with the reserve. If that was the sand pit, the left sand pit, which has the reserve tank, Nevdi would have gladly gotten that to have the extra life. Because making it to room 100, once again, not easy. Things can kill you. Nevdi choosing the left door. I don't know if he has charge right now. But once again, if you have charge in this sort of format, that's going to incentivize the left doors. Here's one of the big dangers about not having any missiles. The thing is, one of the ways that you prevent the bugs from respawning is by you killing them, and then you let the drop linger, because they won't respawn until the drop goes away. So Nevdi has one of the common ways is if you have some damage, or if you have not full missiles, and if you do that, they're gonna drop a missile or health, and you can just leave that drop on the screen and you don't have to worry about that. But if they're not dropping anything, they're respawning fast. So they're gonna kill you in this mode. You gotta be careful. All right, so Nevdi laid that power bomb a little bit low, so it didn't really kill the top half of this map. Even if you lay the power bomb down there at the highest point, I think typically you won't kill the top left pirate, but he kind of wanted to kill that top right pirate because, once again, the gray gamers probably wouldn't do any damage, but the red pirates absolutely would one-shot him if he took a body shot. All right, so Nevdi getting a quick power bomb refill, quick health refill as well. Moving on to the left room. And just a down door. So far, things looking pretty up for Nevdi, but we're getting to room 42. It's always going to be a little bit scary until he gets that reserve. Having that extra reserve really just gives you that leeway of a mistake. And unless he gets a bunch of E-tank, like, here's the thing, like, at this stage of the game, if you have like a few E-tanks, usually you can survive some hits because the multiplier is not that big yet. But we're kind of at that stage where Nevdi probably wants like at least 2 more E-tanks to survive the next 20 or so rooms. And then by like 70 or so, he kind of really wants to, that's kind of when you really want to make sure you have like a reserve. Obviously nothing's guaranteed. You can go hundreds of rooms with that one, right? But yeah, this is kind of the situation where Nevdi kind of wants a few extra E-tanks. And he probably wants a missile too, because one of the problems with Super Metroid, not Super Metroid in general, but one of the problems with having no missiles is not the fact that you have no missiles, but the fact that if you're trying to, like, you have to, like, let's say you get the big hopper room, you got to pull out your supers. Muscle memory will dictate that you hit item select twice, and that would mean he goes straight to the power bomb. So if he gets in a situation where he needs to bust out this super, there's a really high chance Nevdi just busts out the power bomb and then he starts shooting and he's like, oh my gosh, my super's not coming out. It's because it's just the years of muscle memory built up where you're gonna press items like 2 times to pull it out. It's really hard to fight that. So is Nevdi, no, Nevdi chooses not to get the power bombs. He might have considered it, but honestly, like, one of the things about being in room, when you have a 30 room advantage, one of the things you might have to consider is like, okay, do I take it slow because I have this room advantage? But the fact of the matter is, like, even though you have a 30 room advantage on someone, we've seen clearly you're not guaranteed to win. You're absolutely not guaranteed to win. So in a sense, like, going too slow might kind of prevent you from getting to that point where you're getting to the next seed and moving on with the seed while your opponent is still doing the seed prior. So now he's got to watch out. He's got to kill this next bug, and then he wants to do a short charge tap here. Okay, so Nevdi doesn't have to kill that last, he didn't have to kill that last one right there, but he was being a little extra cautious and chose to kill 4 of the monsters instead of 3 and just going. Oh, I think is he gonna go down for it? No, he's not gonna go down. He wanted that super, but he had to make a decision and he chose to sack the super. Maybe a little bit questionable, but he does only have 2 minutes, so I think that is a respectable play. You really do want the super if you can. You can get in some situations where the super is really important. For example, you get the gauntlet rooms. Sometimes it's just much easier if you shoot the yapping maws. You're gonna have to use the super if you see one of the big hoppers. It's just one of those dangerous situations. But yeah, here we go. A nice E-tank. That might give Nevdi a chance to survive kind of a weaker hit. At least keep his health up if he gets into a situation. He probably seriously thought about YOLOing there. He probably thought about it and then decided, no, I can't do that. That's dumb. All right, so in this room, if you just keep moving forward and downshotting, you're going to be safe. That's kind of the way to approach it. You just have to believe that your downshot will connect with the bouillon. It won't miss. It'll hit. As long as you're over the bouillon and you shoot, you should be able to freeze it. This room's always a little bit risky. Nevdi's taking his time. The fastest way, of course, is to just continue forward, open the gate, and just keep moving forward. But there are some global crabs. 1 more global crab. 2 more global crabs. Nevdi's gone. Nevdi is gone. That's why that room is... There's so many crabs that move even they're off the camera. And then there's 2 at the very end that stack together. And they move when they're on camera. So you kind of lose track of what is still coming at you and what's not. And in that case, Nevdi got caught off guard by the last crab right there. And crab please. Crab please. So here we go. We have Beefy up now in room 40. No reserve. I'm not sure what his charge situation is. But Beefy is choosing to go through right doors. Room 40, he's only got 1 super missile. So his resources are very much lacking at this point. Does not have wave. But has, he does have ice and he does have Spazer. So as long as you have some sort of beam, that's fine. You want, at the very least, if you have 1 of Spazer or ice, or Spazer or wave, you can kind of get through it. Okay, Beefy's gonna have to be extra careful here. There's two fish. Okay, and he gets through. We saw Nevdi die in that room earlier, but yeah, one of the things is if you have at least 1 of Spazer or wave, your beam can mostly get you through all the rooms. Wave is probably a little bit better in most cases, but Spazer is, for the most part, it can match wave in a lot of rooms, except like some of the bad LN rooms. But if you have none of those and you're this deep into the seed, some rooms that are normally okay are actually just really bad time killers. So as long as you have 1 of those 2, like, it's acceptable. You can get through the most of the rooms. It just means with none of those, you're getting through the room is just really slow in general. But here we go. Beefy, room 43 charge. So the charge came out right. He is now at risk of getting Fantoon and Kraid from right doors. And Beefy is going to move on and go to the left. All right. Continuing to go take the left doors if he can. And Nevdi, or Beefy, chooses not to get the ammo at the left. So that room... ooh, okay, so first of all, let's see if Beefy can get through this gauntlet. The room that Beefy actually just left, there is a missile and a super. And normally you don't want to really go underwater for something like that, but there is a refund in a decently sized secret there. So if you need some ammo, that room is actually a pretty decent one to choose. Beefy having some struggle jump morphing here. And this is one of those situations like this yapping maw, if you don't have ice, you would want to super it for sure if you could. Beefy doesn't want to take that waiver hit. So right now, the biggest danger right here is going to be basically the acid, and that top yapping maw can throw you into the acid. So the acid, if you've played this game before and you've had no suits and you take the acid damage, it kills you fast. All right, so we got speed for Beefy. We have Nevdi going through the Terminator room. Nevdi clearly doesn't have speed right now, so that makes Terminator quite poor, especially if you don't have a beam. That's another room that gets kind of bad without a beam, especially later in the game when the things are more of a threat. But here we go. We have Beefy going to the right room. Nevdi chooses not to get the free missiles over there, decides the time is not worth it, but gets the free super in this room. All right, so Beefy is maintaining a little bit of health. All right, so here we go. Another crab room. That fish always goes to the right, so you can kill it. Beefy has to make sure to take care of this crab right here, or else it follows you down. This crab is probably best to ignore if you can't kill it. This fish you don't want to mess around with. And here you have to hug the left wall as you fall. You have to hug the left wall as you fall. That is the global crab that Beefy saw, and Beefy is choosing to go to the right. Okay, that's some tech that I've personally am not aware of, but I think Beefy... It's working out for Beefy. It looks like if this room was much faster, let's say room 100 something, that strategy might not be safe, because that fish got kind of close to hitting Beefy on the right. But in this situation, it looks like that's a pretty good strategy. I might have to steal that in the future. All right, so this is a tricky spot. You just want to mock through. That's probably the safest way to get through. If you morph through, then you should be able to, you will clear all of those guys right there. Now Beefy is looking left, because if he gets Metroid room 4, you need to be prepared, because there's a Metroid on your immediate left that's trying to get you. And if you have to turn around for it, you might not get it in time, which is instant death. Metroids typically, in most cases, will probably kill you immediately if they latch onto you. You don't usually have the time to deal with them. But here we go. Beefy does not have waves, so he's going to have to kind of jank this fight a little bit. Goes for the missile super. Now, it's kind of important to note the mouth opens on Spore Spawn. They are fixed in the sense that if you know what sort of damage you're doing, he'll have the same pattern. So the common that I'm used to is if you have the full PRKD, means Baser Wave Ice, and you do a charge shot, Spore Spawn always starts opening in the top right. That's just how Spore Spawn does it. And if you hit him with a New Route Beam combo, oh, nice shot for Beefy right there. He will always open his mouth in the bottom left. So I usually just start in the bottom left. I shoot one charge shot, and then I go to the bottom right, and I just get ready to shoot him when he's done. But Beefy takes care of that fight. Down doors, I like kind of facing right. Usually it's not a threat. As you can see, Beefy was ready for that. But down doors, I kind of like facing right, because that's the typical room I think of with the down door. Now, Beefy has to be careful in this farm room. With 250 health, he'll probably, at room 50, survive a hit from a farm bug. I suspect it wouldn't kill him, but it won't do a lot. It will hurt. Okay, now Beefy has to get through this room pretty quickly. This room is actually pretty tough when it's you don't have Varia, so you can't take your time, and if you get hit, you're probably dead. All right, so quick health refill, and Beefy is going to go through, and oh, that Sova juked those sparks so badly right there. All right, Beefy having some trouble getting back up the hole that he came from. But here we go. We have room 60. for Beefy, 61 now, and Nevdi is room 45. So Nevdi was behind obviously quite a lot, but Nevdi did not have to fight a boss, and Beefy took a long time on that Spore Spawn fight. It was not that quick because of the loadout that Beefy had. That's why if he had that wave, that fight would have been so much quicker. Nevdi wall jumping up the green brin shaft to get these power bombs. And wants to get that smooth. So nice 2,000 points here, and it looks like Nevdi does not have. Here we go. Here we go. That's one of the reasons why you want a super. This room in particular, sometimes it's a little dangerous. You can clear those big hoppers with any one shot, even a P shot plus. Oh, here we go. Revenge of the Crabs. But yeah, in that room, any one shot plus a super will take care of it. Nevdi, just take care of the crabs that are coming at you, and the last two are always stacked on top of each other. And the last two are generally safe. Okay. So Nevdi gets through that room. No crab dangers here. Now that one is coming around down to the bottom left. When you enter this room, the crab that you see immediately running to the left along the top, that is the global crab. That's the one that will move regardless of whether it's on screen or not. The others will only move when you are, aside from the top one that nobody cares about, the others will only move when the camera is scrolled on. So that's important to note. You kind of want to just take care of that one crab that's going to the left as fast as possible. And the others, you should be in control even if you just stop moving for a little bit. Alright, Beefy making short work of these pirates. Wants to grab that secret because he has a minute and 40. So he's not taking the secrets too lightly. The time is a little bit scary, so he wants to make sure that he doesn't get into a weird situation where he actually has no time to get to 100. Alright, so quick early supers mock ball. Beefy chooses not to get the super at the top. That's acceptable. I think that makes a lot of sense. Because Nevdi is actually kind of picking up on time here. Nevdi has to go through this heated room. It's not the easiest, but gets through quickly and gets a bunch of points as well. Beefy finally gets his wave beam. So full PRKD beam. Some crazy noises going on right there. Nevdi gets the speed booster. So both these players really getting loaded up here. Both players with speed booster and both players with full beam combo. I don't know if Nevdi has high jump yet. We'll be able to see by his movements. Nevdi is one of the top rando players of all of Super Metroid. He's one of the best. So when it comes to movement with high jump, no speed, he's very used to something like that in rando. So once again, now at this point, I think Nevdi will potentially get one shot if he gets hit by any of the bugs. So has to be a little bit careful. The spikes are definitely much safer than the bugs for him at this point. All right, Beefy is probably gonna go for the clipping. The free 3,000 points right now. I think his timer's okay, but you never know. You can end up getting bowling, you can get gauntlet. So your timer can bleed if you're not in a good situation. But here we go. Beefy's going ahead. One of the funny things in this room is like you don't have to kill everything, but it's almost like everyone treats it like a cleanser. Let's see if Nevdi can get through BT. Can Nevdi survive BT? Oh my god, he did it. He did it. Everyone give your applause to Nevdi. Meanwhile, Beefy's going through an extremely hard room. Not as hard as BT, but this is tricky. Oh, don't want to spend too much time in the fire. All right, gets through. Everyone's clapping for Nevdi. I like that. I like that. Okay, here we go. All right, space jump for Beefy. That only opens up bad rooms. It only opens up bad rooms. The problem with space jump is it opens up the X-ray hull. Watch out for that laser. The laser will probably KO Beefy. Beefy and Nevdi don't... Beefy misses the pitless. Beefy and Nevdi, neither of them have a reserve tank. So at this point of the game, they're both kind of at risk of taking a death at something. Now, here's the thing. Nevdi was so far behind early, but the gap is closing, and if Beefy were to get like a boss here, and Nevdi doesn't get bosses, Nevdi's definitely going to pass Beefy up. Like, that absolutely could happen. So here we go. Nevdi with full movement, full PRKD beam. This is kind of his element at this point. And Beefy is opting to go for points. Beefy only has 1 minute and 30 seconds. So Beefy actually wants these points. He doesn't want to get into time trouble in the last 15 seconds. So here we go. Oh my god, Nevdi, watch out for that bug. Watch out for that bug. Lays the powerbomb, conservative play. Normally that bug on the left won't cause you any issues, but he's not taking any chances at this point. All right. So here's the question: is Beefy gonna go for any strats? Can Nevdi get the quick fall? Nevdi could not get the quick fall there. You know, that's actually kind of important. Nevdi's time is looking okay, but that would have been an extra, immediate extra 30 seconds for him. All right, Beefy not going for any window cleaner strats, any patented Crocomire strats there. Immediately going to the top right. Beefy needs 13 more rooms to beat Nevdi in this game of 3. Beefy skill issues that super. A very bad skill issue, but it's okay. He's going up. He doesn't want to mess with the orbs randomly hitting him because that orb will probably KO him. Nevdi getting a bad room. Nevdi getting a bad room. That's not good. Nevdi could potentially get into time trouble because of this room if he gets something like a gauntlet. Okay, so that's why Nevdi's getting the secret, because he understands that time trouble is a very real possibility. But here we go. Beefy only needs 9 more rooms at this point. That's a free room for him. Has the spark. Is the spark going to come into play? Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. If Beefy sparks there, he's too hot. There is an angle where he might be able to succeed the spark, but what typically happens is you collide with the wall and the atomic will kill you, and that would spell the end of Beefy's run here. Nevdi taking this room very carefully. He's not taking any chances like he did in the last one. Beefy understands that if you lay the power bomb there and then you lay the power bomb in the hole on the left, that will take care of all the crabs. Minus potentially the one right here that Beefy just killed. So this is going to be a free cleanser for Beefy. He's still a little, he's not fully trusting in the strat. So here we go. Lay that power bomb. That takes care of everything on the left side. Immediate cleanser, 30 seconds. And Nevdi is moving with his life depends on it. Room 94 to room 83. High five right there between Nevdi and Beefy in the door transition. Crocomire in chat. Shoutouts to Crocomire. No shoutouts to your window cleaner strat though, because Beefy chose not to do it. But here we go. Nevdi getting the cleanser from the other side. Beefy, this is a stressful room, but he has... Oh my god! Oh my god, Beefy, you have to be careful! You have to be careful! You gotta pseudo screw that, Beefy! Oh my god, that was so dangerous! Okay, time has stopped in this room. Just be really careful with the Rinkas. Just make sure they're all dead. No, Beefy! Oh my god! You gotta go! You just gotta freeze the Metroids and go. Okay, just get through the room! Get out of there! 3 more rooms for Beefy! 3 more rooms for Beefy! Oh my god. Okay, Beefy's gonna take his time. Normally you would jump down on the right and just fire 3 missiles as you fall, but he's not taking that risk. Victory is at the tip of his fingers right now. He has to get through Gauntlet. He has to get through Gauntlet. This is something Beefy absolutely can do. Is he gonna go for the short charge or is he just gonna play it safe? And no, okay. With the space jump, he's just gonna play it safe. He doesn't want to mess with the short charge. Doing something silly like potentially short charging, forgetting about the bug, touching the bug and dying is a very real possibility. So he's gonna go ahead. He's gonna wait on this cycle. He's gonna wait on the cycle. On time attack, going for a PB, Beefy probably would have went there without hesitating. But he's waiting on the cycle. He's grabbing the E-tank. He's grabbing the E-tank. He does not want to choke on the final room. The final room is a free room and Beefy gets it. Room 100. Beefy takes it. He's gonna go for impressive for the fans. He can't do it. Double KO at the end. And GG. BFrobber taking out Nevdi in this best of 3. The rank 4 on the leaderboards, Nevdi, falls to the power of the beef. Beefy wins the match 2-1. GG's to Beefy. Congratulations. Undefeated in 100 room races. Absolutely confirmed. Is now victorious over Nevdi twice. Against me, Croak and Stachio 3 times. This guy does not lose in 100 room races. Actual GOAT of Super Metroid Arcade Showdown Racing. All right, you know what? I gotta get you guys. in for an interview here. Beefy, Nevdi, GG's. Beefy, congratulations on your win. All right, both of you, give me some thoughts. Give me some thoughts.
That was the easiest win of my life.
Just having controller issues at Sunday. I got so much on my mind. I got a list of excuses ready for this one.
You know, Beefy had that list of Beefy had that excuse too. He was talking about how his left button wasn't working at the start of this, so he had that ready.
Totally fine. Everything's fine. Beefy's too good.
Nevdi, you were catching up there at the end. Room 93. I think you were behind by like a lot of rooms on that death, but with the spore spawn,
caught up a bit.
Yeah, with the spore spawn and everything else, that was huge actually.
I felt pretty good until like the Ridley death, and then after the Ridley death, I was like, I was in shambles. I was moving poorly. I think I died because I pressed a down back wrong or something, and then I died to BT. I'm like, it's over. It is. I can't play anymore.
Nevdi, if you could do it all over again, would you have chosen 100 for the first match, for the first game?
I think 100's pretty good. I don't know how to balance these, but I think 100, it's really nice. There's some like cool strats that can come about. I was trying to find Beefy's reserve route in that final game, but he must have had some damage thing. The damage thing does make it a little bit hard, but at least you can like piece together the start of the seed, and then after that, it's all just what it gets to. I don't know the best number. 75 and 100 feel pretty good.
Yeah.
But I had to pick 100 because if I picked like 75 and I won, Beefy wouldn't have let me win. He would have been like, oh, it's only 75 C.
You're right. You're completely right.
75 is cowards play.
I do think that 75 for Nitro and Spellin, I think that was pretty good. And in their case, I think the 50 was really exciting. There's a lot of crazy things that happened in the 50 and it went pretty quickly. So I think they all actually are pretty interesting in their own right. Obviously, you can just get a free seed, but usually that doesn't end up happening. It's something crazy usually happens to people. But I think with you two, I think 100 is really good. It's really good for you two.
Yeah, I feel like you would reset early on a 50 if you just got something bad like BT at the start.
Yeah.
Seems like much more fast paced and a boss would hinder it. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is cool. We experiment it, keep trying it out, see what's most entertaining and what works. It's it's really fun. It's so different though. Like you play very differently.
Yep.
Obviously, because we're not doing the same thing, and it's quite difficult to get used to. But I love it. Yeah, I think it's going to be, if we can get a structure down pat, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things about 100 especially is you have to strike a balance at some point, because in the beginning, I think you guys are kind of like skipping secrets. But if you actually skip all the points, you actually start running out of time and it starts getting in trouble, right? Because, you get like one bad room, suddenly like, wait, you might actually be in time trouble trying to enter room 100. So it's weird because it's not something that typically happens when we play arcade time attack, just because we're aggressively getting all this quick secrets. But when you're trying to save a second here and there, you can potentially get into time trouble if you're not banking any time early on. Especially because we're trying to dodge bosses as well.
Yeah, and that's why 100's pretty good, I think, because 75, I think you just flat out just don't do anything. Maybe like a 2K secret to maintain you, but at 100 you got to find a balance of what you need to do.
I mean,
but
tell that to Nitro and Spell.
I didn't watch their race. I have to go watch it.
You should watch the VOD. The VOD is up on YouTube
though, because it is a bit difficult, just because Nitro and Smellin just aren't good at all at arcades, so it's hard to find a balance. Right?
Wow, they were like your practice partners. So rude, taking shots at them after they finished. Nitro in chat right now.
Wait, huh? Cutie, race me right now. I was gonna say race me in Rando, Cutie, but then actually Cutie beats me in Rando, so I got nothing on Cutie. I got nothing.
Cutie was crushing an arcade today.
Cutie was playing arcade today. Might have to have him on for this at some point.
Got several hundreds.
Seems like he would have been a prime contender for today's race, actually.
Yeah, that's fun. That was good fun. It's good listening to you the whole time as well. I thought about muting it to get back in the element, but I'm like, nah, I want to listen to it. When I died to BT, I was going to like turn the stream off so I didn't have to deal with it. But I'm like, nah, I'll listen.
Did you see the chat? The chat was just spamming, huh?
Huh? I was in the wrong spot. I'm like, oh, it's fine. I won't get damage list. And then BT kills me. I'm like, man.
I actually have to find what happened because I didn't even see it. We had the audio on Beefy and I just saw that you died and I'm like, wasn't he just on PT? Oh, man. All right, Beefy, as the winner of today's match and undefeated in races to 100, you have any thoughts on this as the victorious as the one that is victorious today? Any shout outs to the fans?
Shout outs to that mother brain at room 100 on my first win.
Oh, that was actually sick. Too bad I didn't make you'd have to do room 100.
Yeah, that was like perfectly timed Varia too.
I mean, so good
Just
if you
in
got to be
time, so if it
full.
was a boss, I didn't have to do it.
That was pretty amazing. Yeah. You know
We
what?
both had to do pretty good stuff for our wins. Like, if you got that up the crumble shaft without Varia on like 97 or something, and that was like getting your win from something difficult like that. And I think you had some other rooms in between that, but it wasn't. I don't think anything was free at 100, which was pretty cool. My 75 was pretty free, but yeah, I think that was still really cool stuff forced to get a win.
Did you catch the beefy crumble shaft when he had to do that with like
No.
Yeah, he had crumble shaft with no suit, and I don't think he suited it up there, so he just like flew up. He had space, and then like he just had to like space jump numerous times to dodge all the sovas because they're flying along the wall. And I was like screaming, I'm like, Beefy, you gotta pseudo that. He didn't have a pseudo, and then he just waited for the circling sova, and he just like flew past it. I'm like, oh my god, he's a madman.
It's the spin jump control.
Spin jump, yeah. He had better spin jump control. I think Zos needs to learn from BFrobber.
Yeah, Nevdi needs to work on some spin jump control.
Go buy a hitbox. Cheaters.
That's true. Beefy with the Beefy showcasing the UWJ's up mother brain. Although I don't think he made it up there.
Yeah, I'm washed. It's over.
How cool would that be if you could skip Mother Brain if you could get up there and do that? I think there'd be massive debates about what's allowed. Although actually it doesn't really matter. It'd only be in a race, right? Like in a proper run, you want Mother Brain. Yeah, that Ridley fight, I jumped out of the acid so high. I just wanted to get a little platform, and Samus got launched. But other than that, I can't think of anything else in the seeds. They were the big ones of note that I remember. Beefy's up the shaft. The Damages Phantom was pretty good, but then couldn't clutch out the 75. The Ridley, and then a few other things. I want to watch him back. It was good.
If you clutched out that Ridley, like you had to go on to win that seed. If you clutched out the Ridley and then died like a few rooms later, that would have been like so sad. You would have won that seed. Like everyone would have believed you as the winner of the seed if you clutched out that Ridley. But it's just like hard. You didn't have wave beam, so the DPS was low, but you know, you did really well in that fight. It was pretty sick to watch it. I think we were all on the edge of our seat because we're like, oh my god, if Nevdi can clutch this out, that's the sickest thing ever. But it's just so hard.
But I didn't.
It's just
your story ends sad. It would be cool, but you didn't do it, and you're a loser. That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, better luck next time, man.
Yeah, Cutie, agree. It's so annoying without the wave, but I've done it. I've had it so many times, but usually with the reserve, right? It's so scary without a reserve in that fight. I got nothing else. GG Beefy, cheater. I don't know how you do it, but
GG.
Good.
He plugs the seed into a seed reader and determines where to go from there.
Oh yeah, did you change your route at the start, Beefy, when you got restarts, or you just kept doing the same thing? I wonder how much that plays into it. I'd have to see. But again, I was trying to copy some of your reserve routes, but I couldn't find it. I feel like the start matters for the first 12 rooms, and then we go on our way after that.
Yeah. This last run I tried to avoid the ice beam by taking some hits, and then I just got BT instead. So.
Oh, how about the BT into Billy Mays, and then if you go left, it's Billy Mays into BT.
Yeah, it's cool. I swear these seeds feel
that was
similar.
Actually funny.
I know, but it feels like they're all kind of joined. I don't know. You'd probably talk to Total and Leora and see, but it feels like you at the start of them, you're getting the same rooms no matter what. In that last one too, it was like the same rooms back after you do one left door, like all joins back up together.
I don't know if it fully joined back together, but it was interesting to see like two rooms like be identical side by side, just reversed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, once you take some damage, things kind of go out of whack a little bit. But it was interesting because Beefy, I think, took a hit from one of the key hunters in the pre-mote criteria key hunter shaft, or not the shaft, but the criteria key hunters. And then, like, I think you got bombs, and then Beefy got, like, speed or something, and you're like, huh? And I think Beefy's speed actually looked, like, really good at that point, and then yours kind of, like, went worse and worse. It's funny how that ended up working out.
I'll have to go back and watch the other ones. But do you have plans to do this for, you're going to do this more often?
Am I going to do this more often? That's a good question for everyone that doesn't know. This Monday, so 2 days from now, I think, we have another match between Sephi and Tablespoon. So it's going to be at the same time. 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific. So we already have another match lined up. And I have some people on reserve that do want to play. So don't have them scheduled yet. But yes, we're going to continue. It looks like a lot of people are tuning in to watch this. So yeah, that's the plan. And then of course, like you guys and Smellin and I showed the people that I've had before, like, I mean, I want you guys to play again. So I mean, if you guys are down to play again, it's endless, right? People seem to enjoy the matches, so we'll keep doing that.
Yeah, nice. No, that's cool. Thanks, Eddie, for putting this on. Thanks, Beefy, for racing. It's fun. I look forward to future ones. I think we're onto something here. It's pretty cool. But yeah, thanks so much.
Can't wait for Tablespoon to crush Seffi.
Oh, all right. We'll see if Spoon has been practicing offline, because Seffi's been grinding, and Seffi's a good player, so we'll see. That's going to be an interesting one.
He was saying such nice things in chat to you, Beefy. I can't believe you're doing like that. He was rooting for you.
All right, my bad. Good luck, Seffi.
All right, guys. Thanks for playing. It was fun having you on. I know Nevdi, maybe down in the future you're gonna get your revenge on Beefy. I'm sure I'll have you on again. Of course, I'm sure you're down to play because I know you love these races. But yeah, this has been good. I'm glad you guys got to play. I think the people wanted to come here and watch this too. So I'm getting off. GG's to both of you.